Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be telling you everything that you're going to need to bring with you to college. Now, seeing as I'm going into my third year, I've had 3 years, or 2 years rather, of experience of knowing what I need and what I really didn't need that much. So I have actually written a list out on my phone, and I'm also going to be adding to it throughout the entire video because you need to refer back to it sometimes. So this is not in any particular order, and I'm literally just going to list off stuff that you may want to write down and possibly think about bringing with you to school. You're going to need a cork board. Most schools come with a cork board, but if they don't, it's really nice to have your own because you can pin your own stuff on there, and also you can get one that is half cork board and half whiteboard. I would recommend doing that because I did that and it worked really well for me. I was able to pin up any of the important notices or things that we got onto my cork board, and then I could write down any events or my class schedule or anything like that on my whiteboard. You're going to need a planner. I personally will go and I'll spend a little extra on a planner because I know that I'm going to use it, and I know that I'm going to use it every single day. I like to plan my life out, especially when I'm at school, and I'm going to be taking 25 credits this semester, so planning my life out is going to be very important because I'm going to need to know when to go to the gym, when to do my homework, when to have my projects that are due, when to commute, and have everything kind of just laid out in front of me. And then I'm also probably going to have to pencil in time to take a nap. You're going to need notebooks, you're going to need a binder, you're going to need loose leaf, all of that fun jazz. Textbooks. Don't buy your textbooks yet. Wait until your professor tells you, okay, so it's going to be mandatory for you to have this textbook, and you're also going to need a notebook, or you're going to need a binder. So don't buy any of those things until school starts. Syllabus week is meant for you guys to get acquainted with your surroundings, to get used to your professors, used to your classes, your schedule, all of that stuff. So they expect you to not have everything planned out immediately. I made the mistake freshman year of going in and buying every single book that it said I needed. I then went on Rate My Professor, and when I was on there, it was like, you never use the textbook. You don't actually need it. So I had ended up spending about $300 on books that I never even touched. So rather than doing that, wait until you go on Rate My Professor, look up your professors beforehand to know what to expect going in. See if you should sit in the front row, the back row, or in the center, because every professor has a different way of teaching, and so you may be more beneficial in the back or the center or the front. I always sit in the front, off to the side in the corner chair because I'm in the front, but I'm not really in the front, and also I can make an easy escape if I have to. You may end up using only one, but you're not going to end up doing laundry every single week. Chances are you may do it in 2 weeks, or you may not have time or something like that, so be prepared with at least 2 towels. As far as sheets are concerned, they said that you would need to bring like 2 sets of sheets. That is a good safety to have. I was fine with 1 set of sheets because I was able to do my laundry every 2 weeks, and so I would take my sheets off, do my laundry, and then put them back on. And it was a very quick turnaround, so it's not like I had that much time in between taking the sheets off and actually doing my laundry that I needed an extra set. But that is obviously subjective, so if you guys are prone to waiting a long time to do your laundry, then I would suggest getting 2 pairs of sheets. You're going to need a comforter. Get something that is comfortable, that you will use, and I don't like sitting at a desk. I like sitting on my bed, so I also have a little throw blanket on there that's really soft. If you end up going to the library late at night, you may want to bring that blanket with you, and you will be surprised at how many people bring their blankets, some bring their pillows, to the library with them. You're going to need a mirror, especially if you are into makeup. I brought a mirror that had lights all around the rim, and it ended up being the hit of my room freshman and sophomore year because people would come into my room, they'd be like, oh, can we use your mirror? Can we do our makeup? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine. Chances are your dorm room is not going to have as much light as you would like, so I would recommend getting clip-on lamps. You can go to Target and get them there for about $5. I have 2. My freshman year, I was in a lofted bed, so I had 1 on my desk and then 1 on my bed. That was really useful for me because if I didn't feel like sitting at my desk to do work, which was basically all the time, I'd go up on my bed and I'd have my clip-on lamp and I would shine it down onto the work that I was doing. This is also good because you won't be bothering your roommates with too much light, so rather than keeping the entire dorm room light on, you have your own personal light. If you are as into makeup as I am, you're going to need a place to store your makeup. I would recommend going to the Container Store. Don't look in the makeup section though for the makeup containers because they're very small. I would recommend going to the business section and looking for the ones that have a little opening, and then you can like drag your finger in and out. They are much larger. I believe that they're also cheaper, and they fit a lot more makeup. And you can also stack them. You're gonna need a side table depending on if you have a lofted bed. I had a side table, and it was basically a container full of 6 open slots. In there I put baskets, and I kept my snacks in there. I kept any sort of like pens so I wouldn't have to go back down to my bed because it would be really annoying. And then I had that on my dresser because it was right next to my bed. If you are gonna be living in a double, so it's just, you are probably going to have bed risers. That's also a smart idea because you can put boxes underneath your bed, and it's good for storage. But the side table comes in handy because you can put like your drinks on there, you can have your alarm clock on there. Definitely bring an actual alarm clock. That's what I use, and I find that it's a lot more helpful for me to wake up rather than my phone alarm because I don't always hear that. Side table is really important, and you can get one that you can actually store stuff into rather than just having it be like a pretty piece. Because when you're in college and you don't have that much room, you need to learn how to be thrifty with what you have. I would, for going out, bring a crossbody bag and also a regular size bag. So crossbodies are really good because you're in college, you're gonna go out, and you don't wanna lug around like a big knapsack with you because it's just not going to make any sense. So go to wherever you like to shop. Forever 21 is probably a good place. Look into getting a black crossbody because it will go with everything. You won't have to worry about it clashing with any outfits, and it'll be easy for you to just throw your phone, some money, and whatever kind of ID you need into that. So you're going to have everything in one spot, and it'll be easy. For some days when you're going to need a larger bag, if you're, let's say, going somewhere, or you want to go out, or you have to go to the library but you don't feel like bringing your entire backpack, bring a larger bag that you can put a lot of stuff into because it will be a lot more helpful for you to not have to lug around your entire backpack. You'll have something that's a little more classy, I guess you could say. You're going to need every type of shoe. Doesn't matter where you go to school, you're also going to need a pair of boots. Boots, whether they are motorcycle boots, cowboy boots, just any type of boots, you're going to need them because you will wear them. I promise you. I thought I would not wear them. I wore them a lot. Also, bring a pair of flats because if you are going out for a recruitment, for a sorority or something, you're going to need a pair of flats that are going to go with several different outfits. I would recommend getting a nude pair. Steve Madden typically has really good ones. So get a pair of flats that don't kill your feet because if you're going through recruitment, your feet are going to kill and you're going to want something that's really comfy. Also, you can look into aerosols. Those are really good as well. You're going to need a pair of flip-flops, and you're going to need a pair of shower shoes. Your shower shoes are going to be specifically for the shower so you don't come home with any sort of fungal infection on your feet because that would be icky. You don't know what people do in the showers. You don't need to know what people do in the showers. Protect your feet. Wear shower shoes. You're also going to need a shower caddy. Don't worry, everybody walks around with a shower caddy. You're going to be that little dweeb walking down to your communal bathroom with your shower caddy and your towel and your flip-flops, and you're gonna waddle and make a lot of noise, but that's normal. Everybody's doing it. You're not the only person. As far as your roommate situation, you are going to have your cafe or cafeteria there, or whatever you call it, caf. You're gonna have your caf there, and you are probably going to get food from there, but on some days, depending on where you go to school, it may be pouring outside, so you don't really feel like walking there. That's why it's always good to have a fridge and a freezer. Having one of the mini ones that's just a fridge, it's like it'll only go so far. You need one that is a fridge and has a bit of a freezer as well. Sometimes your school allows you to rent it from them. That is always a good option because if you do that, you don't have to worry about lugging it inside and you don't have to worry about getting it out. So get that, invest in that, have everybody in the room split it, and then you can have food there for when you don't feel like walking outside if it's raining or if it's snowing or any of the above. Also, you're going to need a printer. Typically, you're not allowed to connect to a wireless printer because if you did that, then everybody would end up printing from everybody else's printer because you'd all be connected to the same network. So it can get confusing, but it's okay if you get a printer that just connects directly into your computer, and that way you save money by not having to go and pay 5 cents per page at the library. I don't know how your school does it. Every school is different, but for most, you have to pay for every single page that you print. So having it in your room is also a lot more beneficial for you because you feel like I have everything here and it's under control and I don't have to worry about rushing to the library to print something and stand in line for 10 minutes before running to class. So everything's ready and you're all set. Bring a stapler also. I have one of the little mini staplers because I find that just having those, it's easy, they're small, they don't take up a lot of space, and I can print something out, staple it, put it in my folder, and then go. You're also going to need a TV. My school does a program where they allow you to rent a TV from them. Freshman year, that was what we chose to do because it ended up being like $30 a person, I think, for the entire year. So that is a much better deal than going out, buying a TV, and then having it there and not using it after school. But one of my friends who I now live with, or who I live with sophomore year and who I'm living with again junior year, her dad had an extra TV and so gave it to her, and we don't have to pay for the TV because she has this one. So it kind of depends on like who has what. If you have a common room, get a coffee table because you are going to use that thing more than you think you are. We used our coffee table because we had a big radio, which is also a lot of fun, and we listened to music, and it was like some of the best times we had were in our common room when we would just listen to music and plug in our iPod. You're going to need an aux cord also to connect your laptop to your TV so that you can, or an HDMI cord, to watch any sort of movie on Netflix or any movie that you find or anything like that. So HDMI cords, if you find one, I'm telling you, people are going to come swarm to you and your room's going to be popping because everybody's going to want to watch a movie. And if you're the only person with an HDMI cord, then they're going to watch that movie in your room. You are nice enough to the people that work at your school, you will get silverware, plates, and napkins and cups and everything for free. For the tuition that you're paying. So we have this little like dine-in place at my school, and I made friends with the people that work there because I actually made them brownies one day and they were like, oh, like that's so sweet, blah, blah, blah. And then I came in and I was like, hi, I was wondering if I could have some plates because one, I don't feel like going out to spend my own money, and two, because it's convenient, it's there and I don't have to pay for it. So they handed me an entire stack of plates that I was able to keep in our kitchen. I also took silverware from there and I took napkins and everything else that I needed, and I was able to keep it there. So don't go out and pay for it. First go and see who is willing to give you what. So that's kind of like a little college life hack. If you have a common room as well, you're going to want chairs to sit in. My freshman year, it was a large dorm and it was just 4 beds, and then we had like a little common area. We ended up having 3 chairs, 2 of them broke, and we had 2 ottomans. We were able to store food inside of the ottomans, but I didn't think that they were as necessary as my roommates probably thought. So then my sophomore year, we had a larger common room and we got a table with chairs, and then we also had our coffee table and a table for our TV. It was really nice to have the kitchen table because we were all able to sit together and like have family dinners together. So it's kind of a nice bonding moment. If you have a common room also, I would suggest getting a futon, but see about anyone that already has one as opposed to somebody going out and buying one, because it gets tricky when you don't want that futon for the next year and you have to try and sell it. Because we actually ran into a problem where we had a futon that a girl ended up buying for our room, and we didn't end up living with her. We're not living with her this upcoming year, and she studied abroad. So we had the futon and we weren't sure what to do with it. So then one of my other roommates had to take it home, and the girl said that she didn't want it anymore, so we didn't know what to do. So make sure that you have all that figured out as well. Bring bum clothes. I feel like that's self-explanatory, but you are going to want to be comfortable at home. So bring clothes that you're comfortable sitting in. Bring comfortable, cute clothes, though, because I have found out that when I look my worst is when the most people are over. And I'm like, why? I was wearing makeup and I looked great an hour ago, and then I'm like, no, I'm going to go to bed, and then everybody decided to come over. It just happens that way. So try and like look somewhat cute the entire time. You can look cute in sweats. Victoria's Secret has great sweatpants, and they're really comfortable and they're cute. I would suggest bringing 2 pillows. I like sleeping with 2 pillows because I can push them up to the back and lean up against them when I want to do work, but then I also like to have one that like I can hug and then the other one that I can actually lie down on. If you like to stay in your bed and do work in your bed, having a larger pillow or like a body pillow or a boyfriend pillow or whatever the funny names are for them, get one of those as well. If you're up against a wall, it's nice to have that body pillow just kind of shoved into the crack so you can lean up against it at any point. I'm like moving and showing you guys how to be comfortable in bed. So that's also some really important stuff. Command hooks are life. You are going to need to buy, I suggest buying like 2 packs of command hooks, and then after that just buying the strips, because you're going to go through so many strips, and depending on the walls in your school, command hooks don't always like those walls, so they'll come off, and you're going to need those strips to go back up. I had a towel this past year that the command hook just hated my dresser and would not stay up, and I would suggest getting the Velcro ones also because they hold more weight. So I would hang this towel up, and it would hang up for 2 seconds and then fall on the ground. And I was like, you know what? I give up. I don't care. Like, I'm not touching it. And so I just started hanging it on my chair because I didn't have any command strips left, and I didn't have time to go to the store to get more. So stock up on those. They're going to be very, very handy. And if you guys have any artwork or anything like that to make you feel at home, obviously bring that as well. Don't be afraid to bring your stuffed animal or your blankie with you to school because everybody does it. Everybody kind of like comes in the first day and they have it, and they're like afraid to show it to anybody because they're like, I'm a grown person, I shouldn't have my blankie with me. No one's judging because everyone is doing the exact same thing. Also bring a pair of slippers if you want. I have slippers and I love them because I can, if I'm staying in my dorm, I hate wearing shoes. So rather than walking barefoot, I'll walk in my slippers, even though I did walk barefoot a lot, but walking in slippers is better for your feet also. If you blow dry your hair, I would suggest bringing a hair dryer, also straightener, curling iron, but those are kind of like self-explanatory and also based on personal preference. You are going to need formal clothing. You're going to need clothing that you can wear to an interview because you're going to have career fairs at your school, and you don't want to go in sweatpants because that just wouldn't be cool. So bring at least 1 suit, and girls, bring at least 1 suit because you're going to need it. And then also have a top underneath. Also bring a formal dress because you never know if your school has formals. You don't know if somebody's going to ask you to go. And so it's always better to be prepared than to be scrambling last minute to try and find a dress, especially if your school is in the middle of nowhere where there are no stores. So bring a short formal dress, like a semi-formal dress, and then bring a long formal dress, and also bring a suit. Bring a pair of heels that you can wear universally with a lot of different things because you're going to need those for recruitment, for chapter, for business meetings, for formals, for semi-formals, for any event that your school may hold. So be wary of that. Be aware of that, not wary. And I think that for now, that is everything. If I think of anything else, I'll list it down below in the description box. But this is me going back like through past years, trying to remember everything that I had in my dorm room. So these are things that I have used and that I know will be beneficial to have. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about moving into college or what to expect when you're in college or anything like that, please leave a comment down below, and I promise you that I will respond to it because I know that it's a stressful and amazing and just crazy time for you right now, and I'm going to try and help as much as I possibly can. So if you're not already subscribed to this channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. There's going to be a little thingy at the end of the video that you can go and click. Go and subscribe to my vlog channel. Also go and check out any of my other back to school videos because they probably will be somewhat helpful to you. Go ahead and click the little like button on the bottom and turn that little bar green and make my day. I'll see you all in my next video, and have a good day. Bye-bye.